Unqualified as Fuck is the ultimate podcast for anyone hustling to find happiness in this crazy world. Whether you're deep in a relationship, stuck in a situationship, heartbroken, or just feeling lost, we've got your back.
Join us as we share our own experiences and guide you on your journey of self-awareness and elevation.
We're committed to offering diverse perspectives because we understand that there's more than one way to get shit done.
By the way, we're with the shits.
So tap in, get lit,
and let's get to the bag. Hello, motherfuckers. Welcome to another episode of the Unqualified as Fuck podcast. I am your host, Azar Faraday. This is my lovely co-host, Jenny B. Thick, and she's looking mighty fine and thick over there, if I might say so myself. And this is our handsome representative to all the men in the world, motherfucking Opulent Six. Okay?
Good morning in San Francisco. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. So last week we dropped an episode, What the Fuck Do Men Want? Okay. And Six was talking about what men want. It got a little spicy because I wasn't listening. I didn't really care. No, I'm just kidding. But it definitely got spicy and it went up on Instagram. We saw a lot of your feedback and everybody wanted a part 2. So we're back again for a part 2, y'all. And we're going to try to get through it this time, but we'll see.
For those of you who just now tuning in and missed part 1, I'll recap some of the bullet points that I touched on as far as what men wanted. And then we'll get into part 2 because due to some disgruntled co-hosts, I'm not gonna say no names, we wasn't able to get all the way through everything men wanted.
You see how he already tried to set me off?
I didn't set you off. I didn't say no names.
For me, y'all.
How I come for? I didn't say no names. I said we had a
and
disgruntled.
It's not fucking Jen.
All right then. Well, so they say hit dog on holler.
For me. So when I have something to say,
they said hit dog on holler.
Okay.
Anyway, I just want to recap for the people that's just now tuning in to this one who may have not caught part 1, especially the women. I'm trying to feed this information and disseminate this information to them because I want you to have a happy, healthy, fruitful relationship and be with the man who also wants to be with you. So let's recap. What the fuck do men want? Nasty sex. We had a lot of rebuttals for that in the comments and on this show. But what y'all fail to realize, sex is important because it's one of the only few things that y'all give us that's actually tangible. You can let the air out your tire all you want. But again, we're buying you cars. We're buying you handbags. We're taking you out. Wait, let me finish.
Okay.
And you're not spoiling a man like that financially. We don't even require that. So
but
what you're giving us is sex.
The only thing you add value to.
Pause. That's the only thing. The main thing y'all add value to because it's a part of being a provider. In a world where everything costs money, you can't be a provider without no money, honey. So that is y'all. Now let me finish what I was saying. So again, we're buying you the cars, we're buying you the purses, we're buying you the sunglasses, we're taking you on trips for the most part. Let me ask you a question. When the last time you flew a man out?
In 2021.
And where you fly him out to?
To Yucatan, to stay in a resort called Chablé. Look how much it is a night.
Okay.
How long was attest to this?
How long was y'all there?
For a week and a half.
And before that, when's the last time you flew a man out?
I don't know. I can't remember.
When is the last time you bought a man a $5,000 gift? How long ago did you get a Chanel purse from a man?
You just put my business on blast.
I did put it on blast. A Chanel purse is, y'all know what that costs. Have you expensed a gift the same price of a Chanel purse to a man ever? Yes or no? The answer is no. My point is, we are giving you tangible things because that's what we love to do and we like to do and that's what y'all like. So the closest thing to tangible in the most part is physically giving us your body. When you have a good man, our reward is sexual exclusivity.
And I think that that's fine. I think that you can give a man sexual exclusivity and nasty sex. But like I said in the last episode, you cannot sit here and tell me that the only tangible thing a man gets from a woman is sex. Wait a minute. You know how many people, Michelle Obama was at a restaurant? There was a chef back there. The guy came out and said, hey, this chef wants to talk to you. She goes back there. It was her boyfriend from high school. She comes back. She said, wow, this was my boyfriend from high school. And he's like, man, could you believe if your life turned out differently, you would have owned this beautiful restaurant? And she said, no, nigga, he would have been the president. A woman's value that she adds to a man is something that you cannot even put a price on, baby. It is something that you cannot even look at the amount, because guess what? What we're doing is we're elevating you and we're growing you in a way that you could not even imagine. Why do you think that all the politicians are married? Because people take...
That's something different. They're married because of optics.
They're getting married because of optics, because a woman adds value to your life.
All right, pause. What's your longest relationship? Let's talk about it. If we're going to talk, what's your longest running relationship?
5.5 years.
5.5 years. When you met that man, was he a millionaire?
No.
When you left him, was he a millionaire?
Yes.
You got an ex-boyfriend that was a millionaire?
Yes, I do.
So you fumbled the bag?
No.
No. You fumbled the bag.
No.
Because someone else is now enjoying what you claim you built up. You just used the Michelle Obama
How
analogy.
are they enjoying it? I built him up, but guess what he did? He was physically abusive. So I won. Regardless, I built every single man up that I've ever been with, baby.
All right.
When they leave me, they're in a much better position than when they got with me, and that's a fact.
The very last man you was with, when you met him, the very last man you was with, how long was that relationship?
3.5 years.
When you met him, was he a millionaire?
No.
When you left him, was he a millionaire?
No. But he was in a lot better position than...
I didn't ask you that.
But he was in a lot better position than he was when I met him.
That. Was he the president when you left him?
No.
All right.
Really? So now you're just being funny.
I'm not being funny because you ain't made nobody nothing. A lot of these women talk about what they could do for a man and how good they are. Y'all ain't made nobody nothing.
Just because you didn't make someone a millionaire doesn't mean you didn't make them nothing. I know you're smarter than that.
Pause. Let me get it out. You didn't make him nothing. Let me just say this, ladies, before we get to this list. A lot of y'all have an overinflated ego. You're not bringing nothing to the table but problems, attitude, and tarnished, and zesty coochie.
Why is it got
I don't know.
So check your attitude. No, check your attitude, because y'all are not all that. Now, with that being said, let me finish this list because I love the Michelle Obama analogy, and that's wonderful. There are a lot of women that can cultivate greatness, but if you ain't never cultivated greatness in no one, don't sit here and say you did, because you have not. That man that you said was a millionaire, he was already balling when he met you, because you already told me that he was taking care of you. So we're going to keep it real. All right, then.
But I still elevated him, and every man that I've been with would say so.
Pause. He was taking care of you. Okay. He had you in the car. You wasn't paying for his car. So again, we do a lot of things tangibly for you guys, and we love it. The closest thing to tangible that we're going to love that you give us is sex. That's why it was number one on the list. Do we like when you buy us a Tom Ford wallet? Yes, that's cool. Do we like when you say, hey, babe, I'm taking you to Joshua's tree? Yeah, that's cool. But when we get to Joshua's tree, what we going to do? Read a book? No, let's have some nasty sex. That is, again, when we are in a committed relationship and we're a good man and we're a high provider, sexual exclusivity is our reward. That's why it was at the top of the list. I'm not saying that's the only thing a man gets for a woman. Saying. No, I just told you. I literally just said that's not the only thing. You're taking it out of context.
He said the reward.
Because that's my only argument.
All right, well, you shouldn't have an argument because I just clarified it, but you're committed to misunderstanding me. After I clarified it, you're still trying to tell me what I said.
You,
again, in context, that is the only thing we get that we want.
I think that's very important because the clarity, like, I'm trying to understand why women, and as you sit here, why is that an argument? If somebody's like, I like peanut butter sandwiches, you're like, no, you don't. You should want jelly. You should want.
So let me tell you what's an argument. That is not an argument.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, but this is where I misunderstood Six. And obviously he's clarifying it. So what I was going off of is someone telling me the only thing a man gets from a woman is nasty sex. To me, I feel like that's just disrespectful to women in general.
I went down a
because
whole
I
list.
give way more than that. And so
But
a
you were
lot of
cutting-
women that I know. But all I'm saying is, yes, nasty sex. I'm one of the nastiest women you could get. I love giving nasty sex. I love doing nasty sex. And by all means, a man deserves
All right,
nasty
let's
sex.
move on.
Okay,
Good.
next
So
one.
now we put that in context because it's in context. Again, we're giving you in the physical. That's the closest thing in the physical that we really like. Ask a man, would he rather go, you fly him to Miami, or would you rather blow his mind in the bedroom? Let me ask you a question, Angelino. This is our producer. He's a man. Would you rather have a girl fly you to Miami or rock your world in the bedroom? Say it loud.
Rock my world in the bedroom.
All right, that's why it's on the top of the list, because men don't have the same visceral needs as women. Women like trinkets and gifts. Men, that's cool. But we can buy our own trinkets as gifts. Yes, buy me that. That's fine. But also satisfy me. We want gratifying sex. So that's why that was on the top of the list. And I'm not saying that's the only thing. Contextually, that's the only thing we're going to get that's close to tangible for the most part, regularly.
I can
So
get
making
with
it
that.
Because the gifts
comparison.
ain't coming regular. You're not buying somebody a Tom Ford wallet every week, but every week he's making sure you got gas in your car. He's doing stuff every week, every day. And the closest thing to everyday tangible is having you in the physical. So that's why that was important. And for y'all that don't know or want to rebuttal that, hey, look, rebuttal it. But let me say this right here as I sit here. I am a provider. I am the type of man most women say they want. Think about the best thing a man could, what's the best thing a man could buy you? Jen, what's the best thing a man could buy you? Like, what's the best gift he could give you?
Something I can capitalize,
But what's the, what,
like a business.
okay.
Or something.
What's
I
the
can-
best thing a man could give you? What's the best gift a man could give you? What's the best gift a man ever gave you? Let me say that.
I don't want to say that on air. I'm going to be honest.
The
But,
next best thing.
Get the next best thing.
I'm not gonna talk about what a man gave me, but the best thing that I've ever, I mean, not that I ever got it, but the best thing that I think a man could maybe give me is a business or a house.
What's the best thing a man ever gave you?
Peace of mind.
In the tangible, what's the next? What's the next?
Tangible.
Yeah, but I love peace of mind. What's intangible? What's the best thing a man ever gave you?
That's a good question.
That's fair. Because I want y'all out there to ruminate
Yeah,
on
I'm
this
like,
answer right here that we just said. Let that sizzle for a minute.
But like a gift, like an actual,
yeah,
just
tangible,
like,
something you could touch.
you know what? Something
Best.
kind of impactful was like one of my boyfriends, like it was new for me. He gave me a Louis Vuitton purse.
All
and I
right.
was like, that was actually like
A
the
Louis
most
Vuitton.
expensive gift I've
I'll
ever
probably
gotten.
say a Rolex.
A Rolex. So here's what I want to say before we move forward. For all the female listeners out there, because pose that question on yourself. What's the best thing a man ever gave me? And what's the best thing a man could give me? Both of these ladies, first answer, the best thing a man could give them was something they can capitalize off of, a business. Then Nazar said a house. I've given my wife a business. I've built my wife $1 million house from scratch. A Rolex, I've given my wife 6 figures at once. Hell, for her birthday the year before last, I gave her $20,000 cash. And then a month later, bought her a Maserati. How you gonna argue with what I'm telling you? Because ain't no man ever gave you what I done for my wife. You have yet to have any Louis Vuitton purse. That's beautiful. How about some property? How about a business where she getting her own bag? So don't sit here and argue with me. Don't sit here, because I am the type of man women say they want. My wife done had 10 cars since 2005, and they had to buy one, and she ride nothing but luxury Porsches, Maserati, that I bought. So before I move forward, I'm gonna go ahead and qualify for those of you who listening and for those of you in the comments that got something to say. What's the best thing your man ever gave you? I bought my wife a dream house from scratch the way she wanted it. And intangible, I gave her peace of mind. She happy, healthy, and fruitful over there in Harmony. So how you gonna argue with me when you trying to get the type of man I am? You sound silly. All y'all out there sound silly. I put my wife in the top 3%. You can name 15 women off the top of your head, and ain't nan man ever built them a house. You can name 15 women off the top of your head, and ain't nan man ever gave them 6 figures. So when I sit and talk, because it was certain things that she did that allowed me to grow into the type of man I am that I needed. So I'm trying to teach y'all how to cultivate that greatness out of your man. And you gonna sit here and argue with me? Take your funky ass Louis Vuitton purse. You can't eat it, you can't sleep in it, you can't drive it. Now, you gonna listen or you gonna argue? I'm gonna let you eat your Louis Vuitton purse and drive it and sleep in it. You can't do neither one. So if you want a high value man, like you said, a house is the best thing you can get that can be in position to build you your house. Then listen. Now, ladies, Azar, Jen, can I proceed? Can I go forward with the list?
I haven't said anything in 20
I'm
minutes.
asking the question,
Of
can I
course.
proceed?
Of course.
Can I proceed? All right. Because I want the call, not just for y'all know, but for the people out there. But again, when you argue with me, you arguing against your own interests. Because again, there were certain things that went into place that put me in position in my heart and my mind and my spirit where I wanted to do those things. And there were certain things that she did that'll help me do those things. Like you said, what a woman bring, you are right. But without sex,
No one is
My-
arguing the sex part.
my mind, I'm talking to these people out there, we're going to keep it in general. My mind would have been 100 other places instead of focus on business because I'm horny all the time.
Okay,
I'm
let's get to the
unsatisfied.
list.
Look, she looking at my list trying to
Let's
get
get
a
to it.
rebuttal. All right.
Let's move it on.
So we said sex, nurturing, because men want to be baby too. Men, let me tell you something. A lot of women don't know how to make their man feel 10 feet tall. He don't have a place where he can extract peace and power from. There's always some type of demand other than some type of rehabilitation when it comes to you. Hey, I need you to do this. Did you do that? Did you remember? He needs to be rehabilitated. A lot of the things that my wife did soothed my soul. Think of it like a boxer having a fight, right? If a boxer has a fight, after the fight, don't he need to lick his wound? Like he got to fix his eye, get it patched up. He got to rehabilitate to go fight again. You have to understand, ladies, your man is out there fighting for him and fighting for you, and he's fighting the world. Matter of fact, y'all know sometimes he's secretly got to fight his friends because his friends be haters. He's fighting a whole lot of people, and when he come home, he can't rejuvenate.
Okay, so what's the next one? Because we did nurturing.
Accountability.
Okay, we did that one.
That was
So for ladies that's just tuning in, accountability is big. A lot of y'all don't take accountability. And even when you do, you just do it to placate us.
I agree.
Be sincerely apologetic with what happened. It goes a long way. Matter of fact, if you tried that, just bust it down. Babe, I'm sorry. I messed up. We'll let it go just like that. Most men don't usually harbor negative feelings and keep bringing up the past. Most men don't. You say, I'm sorry. We just be happy you said I'm sorry and we move on. We don't want to be mad at you, so take accountability. And that's where we left off at. Now, moving right along, next thing on the list is respect.
Yes.
Men want to be respected.
Mm.
And guess what? We prefer respect over love.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't respect us, we automatically think you don't love us.
You want to know what's crazy? I'm going to let you go, but
Go ahead.
my ex, I actually reached out to him and apologized because in our relationship, I didn't understand that men prefer respect over love. I really thought, I love you, I do all this, but I was losing respect in the relationship for things that were happening. And I realized later on, like, damn, all he wanted was respect. And when I got into a relationship after that with a man that I respected at the time, I realized the difference. I realized how that man operated when I was giving him that respect, when I was making him feel so manly and I was, I was letting him lead and I was listening to him and I wasn't undermining him. I wasn't emasculating him. It made a huge difference in my relationship. And it took Jen on one of our episodes a while ago, season 1, to actually break that down and say that men prefer respect over love. And then I've just started realizing that. And I'm like, damn, you just got to respect a man. And that's why, ladies, if you don't respect a man, let him move on and get with a broad that will respect him, period. Like, because you're doing him a disservice and you're doing yourself a disservice. Because the difference of how a woman acts in a relationship when they respect a man versus when they don't is extremely huge. We are completely different women when we respect a man and when we don't respect a man. Because I have been in both situations and I am much more soft and submissive when I respect you. And that man is operating as his highest self when he's getting that respect from me.
Speaking of soft and submissive, moving right along, we want cooperation and femininity. We demand cooperation and femininity. Matter of fact, if y'all not cooperative and feminine ladies, you're doing yourself a disservice. I hear a lot of women that say,
oh, sorry.
That's okay. I hear a lot of women out there talking about, well, I'll be feminine for the right man. Do you know how inane that is? Imagine a man saying, I'll be masculine for the right woman.
That's, ugh.
Yeah.
When the right
What does
woman
that
come
even
along,
mean?
I'll be masculine.
I'm not
exactly.
sure what that means.
It's just as asinine.
Yeah.
So
if you feminine, you feminine.
I want to describe what I believe women think when they say that. Okay. And then I want to proceed to what I've learned, right? Because I actually adapted that mindset a long time ago to where I thought the right man makes me feminine, right? Because hear me out. I had been with two different type of men. I've been with a man who was very like soft himself, and he wasn't like an alpha male. He wasn't a leader. He didn't really take charge. And I started, having to make decisions, having to take charge. And I wasn't able to be in my femininity because I was always on the move. I felt like I was at work because I'm like, okay, now I have to plan this. Now I have to do this. Now I have to be 10 steps ahead of you. Did you do this? Because that's how he was. And then fast forward, I got in a relationship with a man where he was really taking the lead, super masculine, and it made me so soft and submissive. I was completely different, right? So I understand where women are coming from, right? I get it. But what I've learned is a queen doesn't come down from her throne because a peasant came into the room, okay? She throws that motherfucker out. And I learned that if a man is not giving you what you want, then you move on. You don't stay in a relationship that's not serving you and where you have to feel like you're in a masculine space. A lot of women are arguing in the comments about what Six has to say because they've been in relationships where you're talking about a man who isn't a good man. He's speaking from a space of a good man and what a good man deserves. So if a man is not rising to the occasion, then you move on. Because when you're truly feminine, when you're truly a queen, you don't stop being a queen because who's around you.
Well, let me say this, because Jen said it best. Women got one job.
One job only.
And that job is to pick who you gonna be with.
Exactly.
And y'all don't even do that job right.
Right.
So any man you can complain about, he wasn't masculine, he wasn't an alpha, he wasn't a high earner. You picked him.
Right.
You had one job.
I agree.
As a woman, and it's to pick the man you want to
agree.
be with, and you can't even do that right because you keep picking them bad.
And you know what I'm
Everything
saying?
you do after that don't even
But let me
matter.
just say this really quick. You know what's crazy is what I've learned is the only toxic relationship I've ever been in is with myself, and everything else is a reflection of that. Everything else is a reflection of that.
Can I get you to say that again, and I ain't going to interrupt?
The only toxic relationship I've been in is with myself, and every other relationship is a reflection of that.
That's church, because a lot of women are guilty of that, but they have learned how to redistribute blame.
Yeah.
They never go inside and say, it's something in me that keep attracting
Exactly.
these people. Because ladies, I want you to make a list of the man you want. A full list.
And
Write
then
it down
become
like you're
that.
going grocery shopping. If you want him to be 6 feet tall, make a list. I want him 6 feet tall. I want him to make $3 million a year. I want him to be family oriented. I want him to be tied to religion. I want him to be a politician. I want him to drive this. Whatever you want, put that list together. I want him handsome. I want him with dimples. I want him strong. Make that list, ladies. And when you get to the end of that list, ask yourself, is the type of man that you just named, does he want you? Does the man you want you? Because if he don't, you can wish all you want.
And that's why I say, make that list you want, about a man, write down everything you want. You want him to be a millionaire. You want him to be in shape. You want him to be healthy. You want him to be respectful. Look at that list and then you become that. Because that's how you attract that man. And also remember, when you're complaining about a partner that you've had, that he was this, he was that, he was this, you attract people at the same level of woundedness you're at. You attract people at the same level of healing you're at, success you're at. All of that is because of you. This is your movie. Everybody else is just starring in it. So if your stars don't make the cut, then baby, you got to figure out why you keep casting the wrong members. That's your
bars.
bad.
That's bars.
You got to figure out why you keep casting the same members. You got to figure out why you keep attracting these people and why you may be a nurturer, you may be loving, you may be caring, and you may be on this earth to be that. But stop falling in love with your patients.
Bars.
Give them the love and let them go.
Now let me finish my list.
Go
because
ahead.
I said cooperation and femininity, because cooperation is important. A lot of y'all don't cooperate. I seen in the comments, talking about a woman, a good woman, is supposed to challenge a man and blue, 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 blue. And I'm like, she's young, and if she keep that mindset, she'll be unwedded. Let me just clarify something for y'all. A good woman don't challenge a man. That is a fallacy. A good woman inspires a man. We don't want to be challenged.
Bars.
The world is already challenging us, and we want to come home and be challenged again. There is no place we can extract peace and power from. If you got the mindset where you think that's a good woman, you think you've been a good woman, but I'm challenging him. A good woman will inspire him, not challenge him. Cooperate with his plan. If he got a plan and you think, I don't know if this is gonna work, use your divine femininity to figure out how to make it work, not go against it. I remember before I was in this financial position, one day my wife came home, but I had made my mind up I wasn't gonna clean the house no more. Like literally one day I was like, cause it take me a while to clean up. I'm old school. When I clean up, I be washing baseboards. I get in the crevices of the house. So it take me 3-4 hours to clean up. And I remember one day after cleaning, it took me about 4 hours and I was like, this is a waste of my time. I'm not finna clean this house. And I was like, when she get home, she wasn't even my wife yet. I'm gonna let her know, I'm not cleaning up no more. So when she got home, I sat her down and I was like, look, babe, long story short, I was like, it take me about 4 hours to clean this house. You know what I can do with 4 hours using my brain? I'm a brain. I'm using my powers wrong. I shouldn't be using my brain power on Fabuloso.
Not Fabuloso.
Yeah, I shouldn't be using my brain power for that. I was like, I can think us up out of poverty. So moving forward, because I don't want you complaining about shoes or dishes, you're going to clean the house. But give me 6 months. In 6 months, I'll be made enough money where we can have a housekeeper come once every month. And then give me another 6 months, she'll be able to come twice a month. But I don't want to clean no more because you're misusing me by having me clean. That's like taking a machine gun, dipping it in some peanut butter, dip the machine gun in peanut butter, and then spread it on the bread. No, you use a butter knife to spread it on the bread. You use a machine gun to go to war. I'm a machine gun. Don't use my powers for cleaning the house. And I didn't know what she was going to say. And she looked at me and was like, okay. And she got on board. And that's cooperation is important.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? There was a point where I wasn't even in this financial position and she was carrying the load. And I told her, babe, look, if you take care of the day-to-day, I promise you I'll take care of the future. Jen, you've been knowing me. How long have you ever heard my wife complain about me, finances, the relationship, or anything? Ever. In the least bit.
No.
In the least bit.
No.
Ever.
No.
I give you time to think about it. Ever. Anything.
No.
I have a
because
question.
She's happy, healthy, and fruitful. Because she put me in a position by cooperating with my plan and making it better. Y'all have divine femininity. Y'all are magical.
Mm-hmm.
Get with his plan, help make it work. She helped make my plan work.
Yeah.
So cooperative is high up there, but I'm gonna let you go.
No, before you moved on from that,
ahead,
because you said you had a question, but I heard some really interesting things in that story. First of all, she picked you. She respected you. Obviously. Second of all, you presented an issue with a resolution. And so it wasn't like you just came home and was like, I'm not going to do it no more, and then sat down on the Xbox.
Right.
You were like, I'm going to go use my brain for something else.
So talk to the men out there and tell them, map that out for them, because if they want to do that, then they should do what? Come up with a plan and a resolution. Talk to the men.
Yeah.
Let them know what to make you at ease with what they're saying.
Well, first of all, I would have to have respected you or do respect you. So things that you say, I take into account, and I actually am on your team. So if you come home and say, hey, babe, I want to do this and do that, and again, like you said, you had a time frame. So, hey, within 6 months, hey, come back. You gave her a something that she could use to say, like, well, if 6 months pass, like it's January, if in July we still doing this, then we're going to have a different conversation. So I think having something that's on your mind and saying, like, I have this issue, but this is how I plan to solve it, and here's where you can check me at. Here's where you can come back to me and say, hey, babe, this house is dirty and we're still broke. So
you know what I think?
Yeah.
You know what I think that a big problem is when I'm listening to you and just thinking about some of the people in the comments and stuff. A lot of people are in competition or jealous of their partner. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's a fact.
It's such a weird
They will
thing.
admire your light and then try to dim it. People constantly are mad. I've had relationships like this. I've seen other people be in relationships like this where their partner is evolving or growing, and it makes them insecure. It makes them jealous because they feel like they're going to leave them or move on without them. And
that's a deeper issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's an
a
internal
way
issue. That
Yeah.
means that they don't know. That means they don't have the same light.
Right.
They don't have the same.
Exactly.
They're
My
not
wife-
even walking in the
My
same
wife
direction.
has the same light as me in a different way.
well, that's
So
why I
I
was
could-
going to say is that you should, it's all about picking the right partner.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is why people are so bothered, because women are in the comments saying like, oh, and the man expects me to do all this and I have to do because you're hurt, mama. You have trauma. You've been picking the wrong men over and over and over again. And you want to know why? It's because of you. It's not because of that man, because a real woman wouldn't tolerate that type of stuff. And a real woman wouldn't even attract that type of man. A man wouldn't even be comfortable approaching you. You wouldn't even attract a man on that level if you took some accountability and looked within. How many times, I'm gonna ask both of you, have you heard women, you're around women all the time, we're both women and we have friends. How many times have you guys sat with a woman and heard them say like, damn, my last relationship was messed up because I can say I did this, that, and the third.
It's rare. It's rare.
You
Women don't really
rarely
take accountability. They think
Ever
every
hear that?
failed relationship
It's because of the man.
is because of the man. But sometimes, baby, you can't blame everybody but yourself. You have to start learning how to do simple math.
Yeah.
Who is the common denominator
Right.
in all of your
Exactly.
failed relationships?
Exactly.
Let me give you a moment to think. Oop, it's up. Guess what? It is you.
It is you.
Exactly.
It is your fault. So
Yeah.
stop redistributing blame and ask yourself, what is inside of me that keep attracting these type of men and keep contributing to the detriment of my own relationship?
It's
Yeah.
even
I
your
don't know.
fault for staying in a relationship longer than it serves you. The
We have an
more you
episode on
move
that.
on, the more you move on, the quicker you move on, the more you're showing God, the universe, or whatever you believe in that you do not want that type of person. But the longer you say, you're going to keep attracting the same men, and they're just going to come in a different package until you address the elephant in the fucking room, which is there is something wrong with you mentally. There is something wrong with you emotionally. And that is why you are attracting the wrong men. Stop blaming that man. Take accountability for yourself. Go to therapy, do the work, meditate, and get your life together so you can actually attract the man you want, because a lot of the men y'all trying to seek,
Jen, what was you
y'all
about
ain't
to
even
say?
qualified to get those type of men. Period.
What was you about to say?
Well, I was just gonna say that, like, I feel like that's really like good advice, but I also think there's a layer beneath that, because I feel like people always talk about attraction, but I don't think people really realize the depths of what attraction is. It's not just I'm a good woman, I should attract a good man. I'm a good, like, why should? It's deeper than
way
that.
deeper.
It's
But what makes you a good woman?
Well-
I ain't never heard no woman say, I know I ain't shit. Every woman
I
think
say
they're
that
a
all
good
the
woman.
time.
You are. You're the only woman I ever heard say, oh, well, I know I ain't shit. But we're
Definitely
speaking
not.
in general. We're
true.
not making it about us.
Never,
So,
but
in general, when have you ever heard a woman admit to not being shit? She'll say, this man ain't shit. He ain't shit. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. My dad wasn't shit. But for the most part, every woman think they're a good woman.
for being
what
there.
makes you a good woman? Who's auditing that you're a good woman? You are auditing yourself. Why don't you ask your exes what they think? Because all your relationships diminished and ended in turmoil. Maybe you're not as good as you really think you are.
You know what makes women think they're good women, and maybe they're not necessarily good women, is that every ex that you've been with probably circles the block back to you, but they don't circle the block because you're a good woman. They circle the block because you're easy.
And was nasty.
And because
And they want to see how dumb you are.
Yeah, they want to see if they still got you on lock. They come back to women that they know they can have on lock. They can call you whenever they want. It doesn't mean that you're a good woman because these men are coming back to you. It does not. And at the end of the day,
let me tell you what a good woman is from a good man's point of view. Someone who's fun, fit, feminine, and cooperative. Write that down, ladies. Fun, fit, feminine, and cooperative. Okay? Cooperation is important, and being fun is important. If you talking about a high-value man, a high provider, then that means his job is going to be stressful. So whether he's using his brain all day, or maybe he's in the NFL or doing something physical, he's going to be fatigued either mentally or physically. When he come home, we don't want to fight. We don't want to argue. We don't want to fuss. We want somebody that's fun, that's going to relieve us, that's going to make us laugh so that we can uplift our own spirits. I had a client ask me, the Grammys awards just passed, and she was like, you know, my dude was gone running around with this person, that person, this, and she was like, let me ask you something. You think I should say something? Because we didn't really spend as much time together and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? I understand. But if I was you, I would not do that. If you know he was hustling and trying to figure it out because he's still on the come up, he almost there, and you start talking about the time y'all didn't spend and how you didn't get invited to none of these functions, it's going to turn into an argument. And in his head, he's going to make you the enemy of his success. And when he do become successful, he's going to leave you because he's going to think that you was an impediment the whole time. That is not the time when you see him run around hustling just because you wanted to be there too, and he was not as responsive on his text. It was Grammy. He was moving around. He was shaking and baking. But again, ladies, if you put yourself at odds between your man and his success, then he's going to treat you like an adversary when he becomes successful. So a good woman would not do that. I asked her, I said, save your power for your love.
Save your power for your love.
Yeah, because she wanted to open up that conversation and broach the subject on how he was missing during the Grammys and moving around. But instead of doing that and complaining about his hustle and arguing or open up a debate about his absence, save your power for y'all love. Just love on him. Tell him, I was about to say, tell him you was proud that he was making it move. Don't become an enemy of success. That's a good woman right there. That's what a good woman is.
Yeah.
That knows when to pick her battle.
I was going to say, I was going to say, to add to that, I think that's where I was going with the attraction and going with alignment and going with like who you are as a person, because I think a certain level that I hear missing from the women in the comments and what's going back and forth is you're not like, you have to be really secure to do that. Like you have to be a very secure woman.
But do the work.
Yeah, you actually have to be really secure to like for him to be gone all that time and to understand like, hey, that's where his focus is. It doesn't have to be on me right now because his focus is on something else that's going to bring him greatness. And I want to be, go ahead.
I was about to say, think about all the things I do for a living.
Yeah.
And think about my wife.
Right.
Think about you know how secure she got to be?
Exactly.
And you know
But I help make her secure. I'm not just doing wild shit like, hey, just you're insecure.
Yeah.
And I do something blatantly disrespectful or something that has bad optics. So men, don't use this conversation as a passport to wild out on your woman.
But I feel like I tell your wife that often, and I feel like everybody, when we're all around, that close-knit circle, is always like, thank you for sharing sex with us. Like, thank you for allowing him to do what he needs to do so that we can all be great. Like, you're the real MVP. Because
she is the real MVP because she don't get in my way of that. And again, I respect her every step of the way and make sure, again, it's not enough to love a woman. She has to know she's loved. And I make sure that she knows she's loved in the tangible and in the intangible way and in the spiritual way. I make sure I cover her. I make sure she loved. The other day it was raining hard out here. And I text her. I said, hey, the rain is coming down real hard. Do not drive on the freeway on the far left-hand lane. Do not drive directly behind or on the side of any trucks or any vans. And do not go over 52 miles per hour. I don't give a fuck if they blow their horn. You stay at 52. And then she texted back and said, okay, I will, thank you, because let me tell you something. It take more than love to be in love. Love is just not cute matching pictures on Instagram and playing footsies at night. Love is also prayer and instruction. A man has to be able to give you instruction. That's why cooperation is important, because if I had the responsibility, but I don't have the authority, that is slavery.
And I want to keep it general,
Yeah,
though, because not everyone is you. So how we're keeping the women general, let's keep the men general, because you're speaking for the general population of women, right?
Right.
And every time I try to say, you're like, you're rare. That's not okay. We're going to talk for general. Let's do the same, though.
This is general. Because
No,
in general,
the general man is not doing everything you just
if
said.
a man is not doing everything, then it's on you. Why are you with him? That's your problem.
I agree.
So this is in general.
I agree.
If you start
but
dating,
if a woman is not doing everything, then why are you with her? Because we're talking about what men want and how men are with these women, but we're talking about general, right?
we are in general. If a man in general,
you keep referring to your marriage.
If a man, I'm referring to my marriage because that is the metric system of what a good relationship should look like. And if you looking at your relationship and say, well, I have a blueprint right here and this don't look like that, you now had a choice to get out of that relationship instead of staying in a sinking ship. That is why, because I'm referencing something. You and some people like you just like to spit shit out there and don't have no type of metric, no type of success attached to it, and no type of victory. When I speak, I'm speaking from a place of victory and letting you know this is how I know it works. Not that it just works, but this is how I know it works because I got proof. I have intangible proof. Don't forget, you can get on Instagram and say the most fantastic quotes. You can regurgitate somebody else's post and all you want, but don't ever forget your life is proof of concept. So you saying all this fantastic shit on Instagram, but what about your life? If your life don't reflect that, that makes you a liar. And let me tell you, I hate a liar more than I hate anybody, because a murderer murder you and a thief will steal from you, but you never know where a liar will stand.
All I'm saying is this. You can say all of that, and that's great. Love that for you. And I'm happy that you have that metric system. I love that you have that. I come to you for advice all the time. I'm just saying.
Well, when have I ever gave you bad advice? That's real quick. When have I ever told you something you didn't listen and went belly up?
I'm not doing that. We know that. You
all
don't
right,
have
then.
to stroke your ego right now.
I'm not stroking my ego. I am referencing everything I say.
I got you. We can big you up all day. That's fine. I'm telling you something. So
I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, so what I'm saying is I understand the frustration of women, because what they're saying is there's not a big pool of good men.
That's a lie.
100% lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
That's not a lie. You
there's not a
said that.
There's
you
not a
said that.
Listen.
You sat on the phone with me and said, how many good men are there in this world? There's not a lot of them. So please don't play with me, because I remember everything you tell me.
Listen.
What?
There's not a lot of good men who want y'all. I'm clapping for myself. There's a lot of good men out there where the good man at? Like they hiding under a rock or in a cave. They everywhere. They at the gas station. They at Costco. They at Equinox. They at the bank. They walking right past you and you don't show up on their radar because of the way you are. They're going to walk right by you. Okay. And you in LA. If you in LA or anywhere LA adjacent, your pretty face ain't going to go too far because everybody's pretty. Matter of fact, you ain't even got to be born pretty or wake up pretty. But when you leave your house, you're going to be pretty. So everybody's pretty. That's a prerequisite. So if that's all you got to offer, we're not looking at you. So there is plenty of good men. I am not rare in that way. I am rare in the way that I'm probably one of the only few good men that you have a close relationship to, but there's plenty good men. There's plenty good men. They just don't want your ass in general. Not you, because you're a good woman.
Oh, Lord.
Well, that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier. That, to me, to say that there are no good men is a part of your healing, is a part of what you believe, is a part of your energy, is a part of your alignment.
There's not no good men, because even my dad had told me one time, I'm like 21. I was hurt over a relationship. My dad was like, I was like, there's no good men out here. My dad was like, no, you're not putting yourself in positions to be surrounded by good men. And also, a lot of women are not in the space to be secure enough to even attract a good man, because you have to be very secure to get some of the men that y'all want so bad. A rich man, a fine man, an attractive man, a man who does this for you, leads for you, does all this. To be with a man like that, you know how secure you need to be as a woman? You know how sure of yourself you need to be as a woman to be with a man like that. You're not ready for a man like that because you haven't even done the work. And when I speak to y'all in the audience, I speak to myself too. I am still on my journey of doing the work to become the woman that I know I'm supposed to be and the woman that will attract the man that I am. I have been in stages in my life where I've attracted men and I had to side-eye them because I'm like, baby, if I'm attracting you, it got to be something wrong with you because I know I'm not all the way 100% right now. I know I'm still on my journey to becoming the woman that I need to be. I am very aware of my flaws. And guess what I do? I do the work. I do the work to become a better woman because I know that in order to get with a man of your caliber or a man that I want to be with, I'm gonna have to be a hell of a woman for that because I don't want to just be with anybody. And
what number are we on, by the way?
We are on number. We got like 1.5 more. We said nasty sex.
Okay.
We went nurturing. We went accountability. 1, 2, 3.
Respect.
We went cooperation and femininity. 4, and we stopped at cooperation and femininity, huh?
Yes.
Nasty sex, nurturing, accountability, cooperation and femininity. Oh, respect.
Yeah, we have respect. Yeah.
Oh, priority.
Okay, go for it. What
Priority. Men want to be your priority. Like if your homegirl calling, you running, jumping, we finna hit it. We want that same enthusiasm and focus when we want you to run and jump for us.
Don't you feel like most women are like that? Where I'll be out with somebody and my man texts me, baby, wrap it up. I gotta
Azar,
go.
you are rare.
appointment.
You are rare. I'm not gonna stroke your ego. Sit here talk about how you do what you do.
No, I said
you are
most
rare.
women, I feel, because there's memes
There's
on
a lot
Instagram
of- there's
that
a lot of-
says like,
I'm outta here.
if a man, you out of here, huh?
There's
I
a
feel
lot
like
of women
are out of
that
here.
that is not like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll be like, why do you
And
want
it's
my
not,
time?
it's
Why
not,
are you
and it's
always
not
trying
just,
to...
and it's not just about that. Let me go in depth. Priority check with his schedule first before you make yours.
Right.
Now, let me ask you 2 questions. It's a part 2. One is, do you feel like a woman, so as far as the priority thing, do you feel like a woman, and I'm going to ask Jen this question because you're another woman. Do you feel like when a woman doesn't make a man a priority, it's because they don't really want that man on that level? Because I feel like most women that I know that really, really want a man, baby, it's the podcast they might be calling. Hey, gotta stop. See y'all later. Like every woman I know, I always tell, man, she don't want you like that. I'm gonna keep it real. A woman, unless she's like very traumatized and has some real crazy stuff going on, if a woman wants you, she's like out of there. Do you agree with that? And then okay, yeah. And the second part of that is, do you feel like, and I'm not arguing with that, I really want to know. Do you feel like a woman should look at a man's schedule, see what a man's doing, and then make their schedule around that? Because I've done that. And the man, does he also have to make that woman his priority in the same way that the woman makes the man priority? Are the roles different?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. He gonna make her a priority in a different way.
Okay.
But yes, I do feel like for that relationship to thrive, again, this is, a lot of women say they want a good man until it's time for them to be a good woman. They don't even know what it entails to be a good woman because, again, they have an overinflated estimation of themselves. But look at all your past relationships. If they didn't work out, you wasn't that good of a woman. And that's just facts. If you make him a priority in that way, he's going to make you a priority in the ways that's most important to you. You're not going to be worried to be on Instagram and see he liked a bunch of naked pictures. He made you a priority. He's going to make you a priority in a different way that matter to you because you have to do the things that matter to him. Not just like, I'm doing all this, I'm doing all that, but you did nothing that really mattered to me. So yeah, especially if you're talking about a high provider, we not going to break our schedule for you because guess what? You're not paying the mortgage.
Right.
I am.
So, yeah.
Right.
Guess what? You're not finna, when it's time, 3 years, it's time, roll around, it's time to get a new vehicle. You're not paying for that vehicle. I am. And I'm not diminishing you as a woman or as an adult. What I'm saying is prioritize as much as you can your life around my life because, again, you supposed to be in partnership with me. You supposed to, just like how we do. Hey, can y'all film on this day? Can y'all film on this day? Can y'all film? We in partnership together. A relationship is the same way. And like Azar said, a lot of relationships don't work out because y'all secretly in competition with one another.
So weird.
And y'all would never soar because it's like being on a team with somebody who won't pass you the ball.
Right.
y'all finna for sure lose because y'all really at odds. That's why people get traded. When two teammates on the team start having friction, one got to get traded because they don't trust that they can play together and make it happen. So you have to look at your relationship for all the years y'all been together. If y'all ain't winning and really thriving, it's time to let go.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all stay in the relationships long past the expiration date, and that is the reason for your calamity, failure, and destruction.
It's me. I'm somebody. Because let me tell you something that
We don't have
somebody's
a lot of time. Yeah.
Well, somebody's auntie told me this, and I'm gonna wrap it up. She was older. She was married. She said, I don't ever regret being with any man that I've been with. I regret staying longer than I should have because it slowed down the process to get into my actual husband and my man.
Mhm.
So as soon as you know that it's time to move on, pick up your shit and hit the dough. Because it ain't no reason for you to stay in a relationship that is not serving you. Move on.
I agree. But priority. So there's in every way, my wife makes sure I know I'm high a priority for the ways I look for being a priority and vice versa. But she want to be prioritized in other ways.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm willing to do that. You have to have a willing participant in your relationship, whether you're a man or a woman. And I'm just talking about some of the things that, again, made it work because, again, everybody ain't like me, but a lot of people are starting from the bottom. The bottom of their relationship, the bottom of their self-esteem, and the bottom of their physicality. I've been at the bottom of all three. I've been on both sides of the coin. So I'm trying to teach you the intangibles that it take for yourself and your relationship to now rise to the top of that. You get what I'm saying? So it ain't me stroking the ego. It's me saying, look, this is how I know it worked. Because a lot of people would just say something, but it's like, okay, well, how do you know that works? Because I just know. Then why can't we see the evidence of the fruits in your life if it works? So again, the show is called Unqualified as Fuck. It's because a lot of y'all out there is unqualified as fuck. I'm going to give advice on things. I speak from a place of victory. A lot of people in the comments speaking from a place of singleness, a trauma, of misery.
Right.
Y'all don't even have a victory.
Right. Do we have one more left? Because we have a.
It's kind of the same thing. Silence. We want silence.
That's how we ended this last episode. Remember? Because I was like, men are being like, man, shut the hell.
We
up.
want silence.
And
Sometimes y'all don't know
when to shut up,
when to speak and when not to speak, and you don't know how to speak. Your mama taught you how to talk, but a lot of y'all don't know how to speak.
Woo.
And that is important. A woman's silence is dangerous.
Yes, it is.
It is very, very dangerous. And that is how, try this, ladies. The next time your man do something that make you mad or is blatant wrong, go silent. Don't say nothing at all.
It's so powerful.
And watch how he run and try to make up for it without you having to say nothing. Watch him just, your power is in your stillness, ladies. I want you to be as still as a mannequin.
That's a bar.
When a woman is happy, she can't stop talking. When a woman goes silent, oh, buddy, something is wrong.
But if we're supposed to offer silence, and every time we're silent, that means something is wrong, then where
it depends.
Keep it in context. Everything is contextual.
Okay.
So we talking about at the point, again, like the person that came and asked me for advice about her dude that was going to Grammys. I said, be silent. Save your power for your love. Stay silent on that.
I love that. Save your power for your love. That's amazing.
Well, that's how we do it in our relationship.
Yeah.
Because there's things that she would just be quiet on.
I love
and there's
that.
things that's like today, I put her car in the shop for brakes and then I overslept. And she was like, can you take me to pick the car up? And I'm like, yeah. And by the time I woke up, I'm like, oh, we got to shoot this podcast. And I'm like, I'll pay for you an Uber. Can you just Uber? She could have been like, you said you was going to take me. I could have went a long time ago. You had me waste my time. She probably felt like that. Like, if you wasn't going to take me or it was going to be like that, you could have just, there's a lot of things she could have said. And a lot of y'all know women in similar celebrities. She said nothing. She said, okay, you go have a good show. But it's silence. Y'all have to, that is so important, knowing when to speak. That's what I mean by silence, knowing when to speak.
Picking and choosing your battles.
Yeah, that's important with a man, because what if I'm already running late? I'm running late and she start arguing with me because I can't take her. Then I come here, I have a bad show. Like, you have to use your silence for the greater good of the relationship. And that is what men want.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Well, that was the.
Is it? I don't think we're done.
That was what the fuck,
I don't
man.
know.
You guys let us know if you feel like you guys want to keep elaborating on this. I want to do an episode on like how to nurture a man and what that looks like, because a lot of people have requested that, and I have a specialty in that. Ask all the men I've been with.
Not the.
Well, she's a very good nurturer.
No.
Yeah, so
I've seen it.
Thank you. So I definitely want us to talk about that. We did get heated, but just know that me and Six, we united. We love.
This is all love.
Sis and bro.
We get heated for y'all because
Yeah.
she represents, when she speak, a lot of the places she's speaking from is the general consensus.
Exactly.
She's speaking from the most ubiquitous mindset of women.
Yep.
Not always personal, but she's y'all voice because that's something y'all would say. So she's giving me a chance to rebuttal
what we would say.
what y'all would say
Yeah.
as in general. All the thoughts,
Yeah.
ideals, and sentences that come out of her mouth aren't solely, exclusively hers. It's
Exactly.
for in general
It's for
to
the
help get your
collective.
point across.
Yeah, I want to fight the fight that I know you guys would have fought if you were sitting in my chair. So I'm here to do that for y'all so we can get the answer from him and really, work this out, because I know you guys think that we're selling a gender war here, but our whole sole purpose is for us to unite and get on the same page.
Exactly.
And that's why we're having these hard conversations. That's why I'm arguing with this man, so we can get down to the nitty-gritty and the bottom of it. We love y'all so much. Tune in, follow, subscribe,
comment. We look y'all. The comments are crazy.
The
right,
comments
Jen?
are like the shade room.
This is like worse than the shade room, but we love it. We love it. We respect it. Jen, any last words?
I would love to have a further conversation about our reactions to that, because I have some thoughts and some questions about everything on that list.
All right. Well, let's next week. Let's do it.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
Love.
All right, guys, that is it. We have ran out of time. But if you like what you heard or disagree with what you heard today, please let us know. Follow us on Instagram at the UAF Podcast, and also like and subscribe to our YouTube, the UAF Podcast. Again, we always read your comments and we always respect your perspective. Thank you for tuning in. This is the UAF crew, and as always, we are not sorry.